Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. If we can settle. If you are to ask my colleagues, they'll tell you that it's not often that I have no words. But this time around, I can say I have no words because of the gratitude that I have, or we have, towards all the delegates that joined us here. We expected about 3,000 delegates to come, and you'll hear from what you're going to hear that 3,886 people walked through the Transform Africa Summit from 91 countries. There are speakers who came to share their experiences and their knowledge and to be able to engage and interact. And as you can imagine, that is why I have no words. But words must be spoken. And so welcome to the closing ceremony of the 6th Transform Africa Summit here in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. We're excited to have held it here with the backdrop of one of the 7 wonders of the world, the largest sheet of falling water in the world. So if you haven't had a chance to go to the Victoria Falls, please take the time. I think we'll release you after this from all formal proceedings. Please become a tourist after this. For housekeeping issues, we've got interpretation. So if you need an interpretation unit, please just hail our team. Channel 4 is French, Channel 5 is English, and Channel 6 is Portuguese. I'll repeat, Channel 4 is French, Channel 5 is English, and Channel 6 is Portuguese. Now, without further ado, what we want to do is just to more or less share a highlight of the things that have happened over the last several days. I was going to say 3 days, but if for all those who joined us earlier, we had a number of pre-summit activities, which included a highly successful Council of African Regulators meeting and also an investment forum. So if the technical team could help me here and cue up the roundup video. I'll pass it over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the 6th Transform Africa Summit, hosted here in Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. Welcome to the biggest and most influential event on ICT that we have on the continent.
This summit is being held at a time when lessons from the COVID-19 pandemic give impetus for Africa to develop its own capabilities
and to work together on connecting the whole continent digitally so that Africa becomes a single digital market.
Build the Africa we dream of. We need to move faster. And the 4th Industrial Revolution allows us to accelerate. To leapfrog is not enough, but we need to cheetah leap, accelerating the creation of a single digital market by 2030.
We need to make the digital identities of individuals and businesses portable across borders while using technology to reduce barriers to trade.
The need to protect our countries from cybercrime, terrorism, and money laundering through the use of ICT remains essential.
We need each other as African regulators. We need to collaborate. We need to work together in this ever-changing technological world.
In order for you to have a resilient digital ecosystem, 3 things need to happen. Firstly, you need an enabling environment. Secondly, you need strong institutions, both in the public and in the private sector. And then thirdly, you need digitally savvy citizenry, people who use the digital ecosystem so that they create and generate demand for the ecosystem.
As Hannibal, the famous Carthaginian general, said one time, he wisely stated, "We will either find a way or create one. Let's together create this bright future for Africa."
Round of applause. Now, I'll take this opportunity for you to receive a proper thank you for the summit and a proper roundup. So please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services for the Republic of Zimbabwe, Dr. Jenfan Muswere. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Garikai. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Ministers of Digital Economies, Ambassadors, Representatives, the Senior Special Advisor to the President of the Republic of South Sudan, President Salva Kiir, the Chief Executive Officer of Smart Africa, Mr. Lassina Kone, executives, investors, captains of industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for coming to attend the 6th Transform Africa Summit in Zimbabwe. We appreciate your participation. We appreciate your contributions. We also appreciate the knowledge and experience that we managed to share in Zimbabwe, in Victoria Falls. And we should always know that our revolution is the digital revolution. We've had time to share experiences. We've had time to appreciate the opportunities across Africa with a population of plus 1 billion. We've had an opportunity to appreciate the solutions, the digital solutions that we can utilize to ensure that with access to ICT, we utilize ICT with industry growth across all African countries. And we also have the legislative governance aspect as we journey towards a digitally connected African continent. And it is of importance that we also relate to the non-participation or less active participation of Africa as a continent. In the first industrial revolution, you don't find much of Africa. In the second industrial revolution, there is not much active, positive participation of Africa as a continent. The third industrial revolution, there is also less participation of Africa as a continent. So now is the time. Now is Africa's time in the fourth industrial revolution. The digital economy, the internet economy, gives us an opportunity for us to be able to integrate our economies. It also gives us an opportunity for us to deal with the colonial borders that currently we have. It also gives us an opportunity for us to transform, to innovate, and to ensure that Africa becomes a success story. Like what former President Mbeki said, that we need to have the Africa Renaissance Project. And I totally agree with the founding fathers of OAU that we need to take Africa forward. And it is also an opportunity for us to collaborate, to cooperate with our international partners. It is also an opportunity for us as a continent to be able to develop the single digital market system for Africa, so that intra-Africa trade improves, so that as a people we become one. So the digital revolution gives us an opportunity to unite Africa. It also gives us an opportunity to negotiate, to collaborate with other countries. It also gives us an opportunity to work together with other continents, and also gives us an opportunity to integrate and consolidate in terms of ensuring that we have one Africa which is united. I've had an opportunity to attend some of the sessions focusing on education. I've had an opportunity also to attend some of the sessions focusing on satellite technology. How do we ensure that each and every district, village, ward is connected? How do we ensure that each and every citizen of the African continent is digitally skilled? How do we achieve all this? All the deliberations which we have had during the past days have given us an opportunity, have given us the solutions. And we now need to take forward, to implement the Smart Africa agenda that we currently have. We also have to consolidate on all our deliberations, on all our partnerships with our investors, with our international partners, so that we can take Africa forward. Distinguished guests, honorable ministers, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare the 6th Transform Africa Summit officially closed. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Can we have a round of applause for the Honorable Minister? We thank you, Honorable Minister, for being an able and capable host minister for the 6th Transform Africa Summit. We thank you for your leadership in ensuring that this summit takes place and is as successful as the summit was. Another round of applause for the Honorable Minister. And I think those were bold words in terms of what we need to do to move forward. These are words we should heed and continue to take forward until we meet again a year from now. Now, after those inspirational words, there is a strong drive or a strong commitment that Smart Africa has to ensure that we close the gender gap. Some statistics that we hear tell us that by excluding women, Africa loses approximately $1 trillion a year, simply by excluding women. And so at Smart Africa, we have a commitment to ensuring that we close that gender gap as quickly as is practically possible and in an irreversible manner. And so one of those initiatives that we have is what we call Miss Geek Africa. And there's a strong team that has worked closely to ensure that Miss Geek Africa takes place here at the summit. And so I think you'd rather hear from them than from me. So allow me to call upon the Director General of Innovation at the Ministry of ICT and Innovation from the Republic of Rwanda, Esther Kunda. Esther, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gary Kai. Honorable ministers, distinguished guests, DG Lasena, thank you very much. It's our pleasure to have had the 4th edition of Miss Geek Africa. This is the 4th edition, but it's also the 7th edition of Miss Geek in itself. And maybe a bit of a story. When it started, we were seated as in one of the innovation hub in Rwanda, and there was a Miss Rwanda competition happening, right? And we were seeing beautiful girls competing, really putting out their idea. And we thought to ourselves, why shouldn't we be celebrating women that are creating solutions that have impact for Africa, for all of us, and that are bettering our lives? So that's how Miss Geek started, and that's why Smart Africa in 2017, they also endorsed this initiative, and that's why we're here today. And every single year, we're in the closing ceremony celebrating these young girls and what they're doing. And the age group is between 15 and 25 years old. So it's really very, very early. And we hope, and we've seen the impact of some of the young girls that have gone through this. So for this year, because it's been more than 3 years since we've been together at Transform Africa, these young girls have waited for a very long time to come and show you what they've done, how they've been thinking about solving some of the most fundamental problems that Africa has. And on Wednesday, they pitched in front of a very, very tough crowd, in front of one of the most toughest judging panel that we've ever had, and we have our winners. So the girls are here, these young women are here. I think they're still celebrating. All of them are winners, and we have great prizes. Just to do a bit of thanking for our sponsors, the top 3 winners are going to go home with a cash prize. The first one is going to go home with $5,000 US. Yes, a big round of applause. The second one is going to go home with $3,000 US. And the third place is going to go home with $2,000 US, right? But it's not only that. No one goes home empty-handed, right? All of you came here, you learned something, you networked. Even these young women are going to go home with something. So we're going to add smartphones and laptops to the girls that are in this finalists. So these are great prizes, but it's a start, and we hope among you, among the audience, there's going to be people who are going to be interested in this. And we thank our sponsors for continuing to do this. Before we continue, I would like to introduce you to the panel of judges. Among the judges, we had Aretha Mare, who's the unit manager for the Data Security, Infrastructure and Governance Unit at the Smart Africa Secretariat. I don't know if Aretha is here. You can wave to everyone. And then we have Afrodis Mutangana, who's the Director of Partnership at Digital Africa. He had to leave earlier. We have Caroline Bugua, who's the Senior Policy Manager at GSMA for Sub-Saharan Africa. And we also have Bienvenue Komlan from Intel Corporation and Hawa Berite from the Millennium Challenge Corporation. So I don't want you to take my word for it. I wanted to give Caroline 2 minutes to give you a glimpse of how they saw these young girls and what they thought of them. Thank you.
Honorable ministers, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, as she rightfully mentioned, my name is Caroline Bugwa, Director of Public Policy at the GSMA, and it was a real honor to be part of this work that Miss Geek Africa is doing. So it was a tough job, I will not lie, because the girls have put their best foot forward. It was inspirational, challenging, and at a personal level, I'm very inspired by what they were able to do. Our judging was based on the theme of the event, which is Connect, Innovate, and Transform, looking at solutions that actually focus on challenges that are unique in the region. And each and every girl was able to demonstrate exactly that. And that is why I'm saying it was a challenging endeavor for us to actually select a winner. But you know, in every competition, there has to be a winner for the day. But it doesn't mean that all the other girls are not winners, because of course, for you to actually benefit from a competition is to focus on the dream, yeah? After here, is looking at how do you better what they had already come up with for them to improve on it. And I have a challenge to each and every person that is represented here. We will all receive a pack, information around the different innovations that were that were presented to the panel of judges. And our challenge to you is to look at what those girls have come up with and see how you can be able to support in your part. Because we say, when you inspire a woman, you inspire a generation. Or rather, when you empower a woman, you empower a generation. So my challenge is, let us look at what they have come up with and see how you can support. And of course, support can be in different ways. Mentorship is one of them. There's a lot that can be done in that space. Because as you heard, the age, is between 15 years to 25. So young girls that need a lot of mentoring. Of course, also there's support that is financial. So looking at how the products can actually be scaled, how the solutions can actually be rolled out into the different markets. And of course, also looking at how can in terms of incubation of these solutions, is there any sort of support that can be given? I am looking forward to next year, Garikai, where we shall be announcing as part of Miss Gig the progress that has happened with what we have been able to see this year. Because I believe that in this room, we've got the resources that we need to actually take them to the next level. So I'd like us to just put our hands together and give a round of applause to all the girls that participated in this, because it was, I'm sure you'll hear a bit about it, for the top 3 that won, and you will agree with me that it's really brilliant work that they're doing. And thank you so much to Smart Africa for making this possible, and the panel of judges that were part of this. Thank you very much, and looking forward to next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caroline. So now let me ask the finalists to just come and stand right here so that we can start the real awarding ceremony, right? So at the start of the competition, we had 10 finalists, but 3 of them were not able to make it, and those finalists were from Cameroon, Djibouti, and South Africa. All right, let me go stand on the other side so that we can award them from here. So those 3 of them were not able to make it from Cameroon, Djibouti, and South Africa, as I was saying. But we always say we have a Miss Geek from each country. So we have a Miss Geek from Ghana, we have a Miss Geek Ghana, we have a Miss Geek Niger, we have a Miss Geek Rwanda, we have a Miss Geek Zimbabwe. So all of them are really representing what their countries can offer. So from these 7 that were able to make it, let me call upon the President of Girls in ICT to come and award the person who came in 7th position. This person is going to be getting a laptop, and the person who won the 7th position is Mrs. Sadatu Musa Issa from Niger. Her project is Femme Entrepreneur, and she's going to try and help capacitate women, other women entrepreneurs in Niger. A bit of background, the first Miss Geek Africa was from Niger, and this is the work that she has done of bringing more women into the ecosystem. Thank you very much. Now let me call upon the winner of the 6th position, and this is Jennifer Mutamuliza from Rwanda. Her innovation, she's doing a smart miner monitoring system where she's really trying to look at securing and making sure that people who work in mines across Africa are secure based on the different elements that we've seen, different news that we've seen, where people lose their lives in mines. Thank you, Gael. Now let me call upon one of our biggest sponsor, UNDP. We have a representative from UNDP. She's going to come up on stage, and we're going to award the 5th position. So, for the 5th position, UNDP is represented by Krista Monezero, and she's here representing the country rep. In 5th position, we have Claire Wangari Kanja from Kenya. A big round of applause. And her solution is called Tekeleza, and she's using big data to solve the water crisis issues across the continent. On top of a laptop, she's also getting a smartphone. She's also getting a smartphone, please. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Claire. Chris, if you can stay for the 4th position, please. On the 4th position, we have Mebo Chileshe from Zambia. And her solution is Just Live, where she's trying to create a mobile app that will help destigmatize mental health among young people. This is really a good application, and I really hope any health advocate is going to be supporting her. The next one, I would like to call Selma to come and award the next position. So we have now 3, so you can understand how the girls are now feeling, right? And we're now getting to the meat where we have the cash prizes. The second runner-up is going to get a laptop, a smartphone, and $2,000, right? And this person was really advocated for by the judges. And she's solving a really fundamental question that ties into helping us solve what we've been talking about here. So the second runner-up is Blessing Sibanda from Zimbabwe. And her project is about harnessing the power of solar power by creating a management tool to harness Africa's potential for solar energy. She already has a prototype. So please support her. Congratulations, Blessing. Now, for the next 2 positions, I would like to call 2 of biggest champions for this Miss Geek Africa. They're going to award the top 2 prizes at the same time together. I would like to call Minister Paula, Minister of ICT and Innovation from Rwanda, and PS Dr. Chirume from Zimbabwe. They've ensured that the girls are catered for and are helping us with this. So in 2nd position, and of course you're going to know the winner, but that's fine. Make sure you reserve the cheering equally or even better. So in 2nd position, this young lady is going to win $3,000, again, a device, a smart device, and a laptop. So in 2nd position, we come back again on, the solution is called Blood Connect. And this is from Lisette Aboué from Benin. She's from Benin, and her solution is ensuring that your relatives, Lisette is ensuring that your relatives who need blood are able to really get it by crowdfunding, by crowdsourcing where blood can come from and incentivizing people who are doing so. And now, a big round of applause And let's stand up for the winner of Miss Geek Africa for the 4th edition, Selassie Domi Okuornu from Ghana. Woo! A big round of applause. Congratulations. Congratulations, Selassie. And just to let you know what she's doing, her application called Casa Cash is a way to integrate voice and mobile money. And from the judge's position, she's also going to integrate so many other authentication elements to ensure that people who are illiterate, who don't have that many digital literacy skills, are able to access the mobile money services, the financial services that we are all looking for. She's a very great young lady. She knows the problem that she's trying to solve for, and I believe all of us are going to be supporting her. Congratulations. And before you move the stage, ministers, I'd like to call upon all the girls, all the 7 finalists for a family picture. Gael, Krista, Telma, and DG Lasina, please join for a family picture with all the winners of Miss Geek. And Deputy Minister from Zimbabwe, please, let's join for a family picture with all the winners. Again, congratulations. I hope you hear from the different solutions: financial services, blood, mental health, mining, etc., water. You can hear that these young ladies are really looking forward to solving and being part of the solution that we're saying. So please, again, a big round of applause for these young ladies. Thank you very much. And thank you to all our sponsors that have allowed us and all of us to see these young women that are doing incredible things. Thank you once again for Smart Africa to help us be here. I look forward to the 5th edition and encourage and request all member states of Smart Africa to help us organize local Miss Geek in their own countries. Let's see 35, is it 40 now? 40 countries? All member states of Smart Africa represented, and will have a bigger competition next year, right? So thank you again for having us, and thank you to all our sponsors. Have a good evening.
How amazing was that? Another round of applause. And I think the most amazing thing is that each of the solutions is equally amazing, is practical, and things that the continent really need. And so these are things we need to support. I'll echo what Esther said. I'm hoping each of you are looking at ways where you can support each of these 7 girls. I think I know most of you, so I'll hold you to task. But we can follow up on this. Congratulations to Miss Geek organizers. Congratulations to all the girls. And thank you to all the sponsors who've made this happen. Now, you know, before we move on, it just kind of reminds me of something where a certain urban poet once said that, you know, with the way that women create with longevity and strength, yet at the same time with grace and compassion, surely God must be a woman. So now we move on with the rest of the proceedings, and this has been an exciting part, and like they mentioned, it's an integral part of the Transform Africa Summit. So for those who are here for the first time, when you join us next year, which I trust you will, you'll be seeing more of Ms. Geek, and we'll be calling upon you for greater levels of support so that we can support more girls or more young ladies with great innovations across the continent. So at this time, I'm going to queue up our technical team, because we have a video from one of our key partners that will be coming up at this time. So if the technical team is ready, we have got a video from the Jitex. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I think our partner will be coming on stage to give an address. This is from the Jitex team. A round of applause.
Thank you. Honorable ministers, esteemed guests, this DG Lassina, and the organizers ladies and gentlemen, and the organizers of Smart Africa. I'm coming from Dubai World Trade Center. I represent Jitex. As an organizer of one of the biggest technology shows in the world, I would like to call for a round of applause for Smart Africa team. Ivan, Nice, Telma, the entire team, you've done a brilliant job. I totally get the complexity of running an event seamlessly in a beautiful country of Zimbabwe. So please, round of applause for the executive team of Smart Africa. So it's an honor to be here from Dubai and to witness so many inspirational speeches by Pan-African leaders from the public and the private sector about how they're transforming and accelerating digital transformation in their countries, and also unifying efforts to transform Africa into a single digital market. So I'm not here to use this platform to promote another event. I'm here to tell you the importance of platforms like Transform Africa Summit and Jitex Technology Weeks for economies. So just a couple of stats that we are very proud of. Jitex Technology Week generates annually $700 million of economic output. 60% of that is retained in Dubai economy, so around $400 million. It generates 10,000 jobs annually. It's generated at the back of the show, but most importantly, it brings the world to Dubai to launch innovation, to foster collaboration, and to obviously accelerate digital transformation. So now the exciting news, for the first time in 2023, under the high patronage of His Excellency Mohammed VI, the King of Morocco, and in collaboration with Digital Development Agency of Morocco, ADD, and the Ministry of Digital Transformation of Morocco, Jitex is coming to Africa next month to Morocco on 31st of May till 2nd of June. And I'm here, thank you. There will be 20,000 people from all around the world in attendance, around 500 startups, 400 VCs from all around the world with a combined asset under management of $1 billion. So for all startups who are in the room, or for all ecosystem builders, please join us. There are a lot of opportunities to connect. Finally, it's what we'd like to announce here is that please, if you are in the room, Selassie from Casa Cash, are you in the room? Thank you. Thank you. So I'm happy to announce that Jitex Technology Week and Jitex Africa, will be covering the cost of your travel to Morocco next month. It will be helping you connect with all the investors coming to the show, and we'll be making sure that you have a great time there. Without further ado, I would like to invite you to watch a short video about Jitex to see what you can expect, Jitex Africa, to see what you can expect there. And the team will be here for the next couple of hours if you need any answers to any questions about the show. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was Sajana Franovic, the Director for Content and Marketing for the Dubai World Trade Center. Now here comes the video.
Potential for tech on the continent is limitless, and the time for action is now.
Jitex Africa, ladies and gentlemen, One Africa, limitless opportunities. I hope to meet you all in Morocco, and we'll certainly be able to advance the discussion of transforming Africa into a single digital market. Allow me to acknowledge a lot of our sponsors and partners who made this summit possible. And I'll start off, of course, with our gracious host, the Republic of Zimbabwe, who gave us the opportunity to have this summit in a resort destination, so that kind of helps. And, but also the continued support and incredible support that we received in ensuring that this summit is possible. I'd also like to recognize our lead sponsor, the German Development Corporation, who have been partners not only in the summit, but in the work that Smart Africa continues to do. In addition to that, allow me to also recognize the government of Rwanda that provided key support, Net1, Tel1, Liquid Telecom, Econet, the Estonian ICT cluster, Carnegie Mellon University Africa, Irembo, Ascend Digital Solutions, PAPS, Dala Africa, the IDEA Project, Hewlett Packard Enterprise, Hitachi, Medtronic Labs, the MasterCard Foundation, I4 Policy, Catapult, Mozilla, the Digital Impact Alliance, the European Union, Digital Africa, Orange, and the ITC. A round of applause to those who made this summit possible. There are so many other content partners that we have who provided content that gave you the rich content that you have. The list is long, can't mention them all by name, but let it be known that we truly appreciate this because the work of transforming Africa cannot be done alone. So truly we appreciate you all. A round of applause. Now, another milestone has been reached where Smart Africa turns 10 this year. And so in celebration of our 10th year anniversary, the team have prepared another visual treat for you. So again, I'll cue the technical team for Smart Africa's 10th year anniversary video. 10 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is more or less the last sort of speech, I put it in quotes, that you're going to hear from me, and I've tried to keep it short, because you know what they say, Julius Caesar used to give long speeches, and his friends killed him. So, but here's one speech you would certainly want to hear, which is the closing speech and a proper roundup for the Transform Africa Summit. So help me to welcome the man upon whose shoulders the digital transformation of Africa sits, the Director General and CEO of Smart Africa, a man who we affectionately call Boss, Director General Lasina Kone.
Gaika, you're really funny. I'm telling you. Excellencies, honorable ministers, head of the delegation, distinguished partners, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. We have come to the end of a groundbreaking and a timely summit. The Transform Africa Summit 2023 was not only historic because it was the first Transform Africa Summit to take place outside of our base, which is Rwanda. It was also historic because this summit has taken the relationship we have with our members and partners to its highest level ever. I would like to share with you 3 key takeaways that I'm taking from this summit. Number 1, this year's summit gathered 5 heads of state, including a king, 44 ministers, and around 4,000 delegates from 91 countries. Round of applause. This is a testimony of Africa's political commitment at the highest level in our actions for the digital transformation of our continent. The takeaway number 2, numerous partnerships materialized on the sideline of this summit, including an MOU signing with AFCFTA, a Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, to enhance collaboration in information and communication technology to develop single digital market for Africa within the African Continental Free Trade Area. The launch of a project with the African Development Bank to streamline digital trade and e-commerce policies across 10 African countries. The Smart Africa Trust Alliance, signed by 8 founding members state to connect all the systems through its trust framework. New membership agreement with the Smart Africa Alliance with eRembo and Ascend Digital Solution that I will be announcing a surprise at the end. A renewed MOU with the Estonian Association of Information Technology and Telecommunication to collaborate on the design, development, and deployment and operation of digital public infrastructure for the common good. An MOU between Smart Africa and Internet Society to engage in activities to connect rural communities. An MOU between Smart Africa and Hitachi System Security to assist and support Africa's secure digital transformation and to secure the African cyberspace. An MOU between the Smart Africa and the GAIAX, European Association for Data and Cloud, to explore the options for the establishment of GAIAX Hub in Africa to be managed by Smart Africa Secretariat. An MOU with Eye for Policy to work on policy reform processes to foster innovation, digital transformation, and to improve the environment for entrepreneurship. An MOU with the Zhejiang International Business School to foster capacity building within our countries. And finally, to strengthen our partnership with the ITU, a joint declaration will be signed right after this ceremony, just to cite few. The transformation of Africa into a single digital market must be achieved through a multi-stakeholder approach, and together we shall address social economic challenges strengthen laws and policies, and implement large cross-border regional continental projects to bring massive impact. The takeaway number 3 is clear from this summit that action towards Africa's digital transformation are happening on the continent. Now it is time to accelerate the implementation of these actions in a normalized way and turn our shared vision into reality. It is time to become operational. To leapfrog is not enough anymore. We need a shortcut, as His Excellency President of Malawi said, and this shortcut necessitates us to be innovative in all we do. The theme of the summit, Connect, Innovate, Transform, was most appropriate. Smart Africa announced during the Investment Forum 7 priority initiatives aimed at addressing 3 of the primary bottlenecks hindering Africa's development, namely the lack of infrastructure, skilled personnel, and funding. The 7 priority initiatives are the Smart Continental Backbone, the Bulk Purchase Marketplace, the Regional Green Data Centers and Cloud, the Smart Africa Digital Academy, the Girls in ICT, the Smart Africa Network of Incubators and Accelerators SANIA, and the Smart Africa Trust Alliance. Our alliance is growing fast. So fast that we have grown during this very summit. Please join me in welcoming our newest 37th member state, the Kingdom of Eswatini, with Gambia and Botswana soon closing the process to join. This ongoing growth of Smart Africa is a testament of the tangible value that we consistently deliver. My final duty is to thank all of you who contributed in the different ways to the successful outcome of this summit. First and foremost, I want to thank all the speakers and moderators for the quality of their presentations and discussions. I want to thank all the sponsors here present. Their financial contributions made this event possible. I should not forget to thank my team who coordinated this events tirelessly, Elephant Hill Resort for the use of this facility, and our host, of course, His Excellency Emerson Mnangagwa, President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Government of Zimbabwe, and in particular, the Ministry of ICT for their tireless support and hospitality. This is a new phase of Smart Africa Alliance. We look forward to strengthening our partnership, greater co-ownership of continental frameworks and operations, and more importantly, joint accountability for the success of our alliance and the continent in the coming 10 years. Before I end, our platinum member, Ascend Digital Solution, has offered $1,000 for the first positions of the Miss Geek, and a job offer in Accra. So, Miss Geek, you have $1,000 on the top of $5,000, which makes it $6,000, and you have a job offer when you go back home. Thank you. Ascend, please. Ascend, can you stand up, please? Round of applause for Ascend CEO. I thank you for all your attention and hope you enjoyed the 10th anniversary celebration of Smart Africa Alliance in Victoria Falls. Now I'm going to call upon my brother, the Deputy Minister of ICT in Zimbabwe, to close the remark. Thank you.
Julius Caesar used to talk too much, and so his friends killed him. So you don't have to expect a long speech. Your Excellencies, ministers who are here, Your Excellencies, ambassadors from various countries, the CEO of Smart Africa, Dr. Kone, partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the host country, we are humbled by the subscription to this 6th edition of Transform Africa Summit, which has been held for the first time, like you heard, outside Rwanda. We want to thank you for all your participation, which I personally witnessed as I went to join various sessions and in breakaway rooms. We want to thank you again for the level of commitment that you were giving to all sessions, including the official opening ceremony. I've had an opportunity to have smaller meetings that were coming outside of the wisdom that we were given by our heads of state in their presentation and what then followed after in the board meeting. I'm happy to say that it attests to the commitment that we want to show as Africans through this gigantic move and vehicle of the Smart Africa initiative. I would like to thank all sponsors who made this very possible, because without you, this would not have shown this magnitude of success. I would also like to thank those who have come in to be part of the Smart Africa Summit for the first time, and those outside Africa who have extended their hand to make Smart Africa Summit 6th edition a reality. And welcoming new members who have joined this massive move, and hope that growth will be ensured from this summit to the next. I also want to thank Minister Paula, who has been very instrumental in giving strategic direction to how we can host the summit successfully, as they have been doing it successively in Rwanda. But also allow me to thank exhibitors who displayed massive technologies that show that indeed there's light at the end of the tunnel. The media playing a role of making sure that all that there is about Smart Africa is out there in the world, so that we are joined and become stronger. An African adage that says, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with others, cannot be amplified better than it has been by your presence here as testimony that indeed this is the way to go, and in this way we are going far. Let me also thank the host, this facility, Elephant Hills, for hosting us and for being such a wonderful host. To those of you who have not gone to the force, I'm making a call that before you go back home, take your time to see the majestic Mosiwa Dunya. And I hope you've had an experience to interact with the natural feel of Victoria Falls. Last night when I hosted my colleagues at the Riverside for small eats and drinks, they took time to arrive. I was getting worried that maybe that was a snub. But when they came, they shared with me the good news that they had experienced a roadblock. A herd of elephants had decided to give you a befitting send-off. And with those remarks, I say, please travel safely to all your various destinations. And as I say, we declare that the 6th edition of the Smart Transform Africa Alliance has been officially closed.
A big round of applause for all that's happened in the Transform Africa Summit. A big shout out to the German Development Corporation and our key content partner, the Smart Africa Digital Academy, SADA. A round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, once the summit has been closed by our principals, I cannot say more but to wish you well, safe travels, and let's meet at the next Transform Africa Summit. Have a good afternoon.